Welcome to the Postpartum Nutrition Planning section of your postpartum plan. Nutrition is what turned things around for me in my postpartum journey. I haven't shared too many details on here about what I experienced, but I experienced significant postpartum anxiety, intrusive thoughts, and a video reel in my mind of my son dying over and over and over again in every way you could imagine. It was obsessive, compulsive video reel that I couldn't control. My anxiety was crippling to the point of needing to detach from myself. I used my skills and my ability to keep my body going and go through the movements of a day and the expectations of a day, while my emotions and my connection to who I am was off on the side. And I did that out of survival. I struggled so much with postpartum anxiety that I feel that was the basis of my postpartum experience, and that my experience of postpartum depression was secondary to the anxiety that I felt. And what turned it all around for me was my nutrition. I'm going to say two things turned it around for me. One was understanding how I can regulate my nervous system, and the other was my nutrition. Because I learned that your gut is considered to be your second brain. And your stress impacts your gut's microbiome. And when you're living in survival mode, and you're sleep deprived, and you're nutritionally deprived, and every ounce of hormones running through you seem to be about panic and anxiety and overwhelm and stress and survival, your gut gets thrown out of whack. And so I started working with a functional medicine doctor to support my postpartum journey. And in that journey, I learned about the importance of the nutrition that I give myself and how I give it to myself and when I give it to myself, and about the supplements and the probiotics I need in order to have a healthy gut. And in the postpartum season, you guys, we're under a lot of stress. Even the most ideal postpartum season you could imagine, we are under a lot of stress, whether it's from childbirth, trauma to our bodies, sleep deprivation, adjusting to constant immediate demands, producing milk to feed our children. It's all stress. It is all stress. And when we're healing from childbirth, our bodies need nutrition. They need warming, nutritious foods that are high in fats and calories, especially if you're producing milk to feed your baby. And this feels opposite as to what I knew growing up. I thought that high calorie foods were not good. I learned about empty calories, and I learned about good fats and bad fats, and most fats are not good. And I just learned a bunch of lies, honestly, about the world trying to control the body image of women. And the reality is, in this season of life, you need to eat more calories than you think. If you're feeding your baby, right? If you're nursing your baby, if you're producing breast milk, you require more calories. You require higher fat food, like food that's higher in fats. I couldn't say that. And you require different types of food than what you might be used to. So let's talk about what we're going to need and how we can give ourselves what we need. On your nutrition plan, I'm going to pop over to this page. I put a little image here of the types of food that are really healing for you in this season. If you want examples or recipes, I encourage you to look up Ayurvedic recipes. You can even look up postpartum Ayurvedic recipes. Ayurvedic recipes and just that style of feeding yourself and thought process behind feeding yourself is all rooted in the realm of healing and medicine. And so food being medicine, what you eat being medicine, when you eat being medicine, right? And so here's a few key facts for you guys in this season of life. It's drinking lots of water. Lots and lots and lots of water. I know going pee might hurt at first for a while, but drink that water, my friends. Let your body be hydrated. The majority of us feel sick because we are dehydrated. Drink water that's got electrolytes in it. That's healthy water, right? Not just tap water. Be careful if you do drink tap water. There might be things in there that are not hydrating your body. Drink hydrating water. Get electrolytes. Enjoy soups and stews, warming foods for your body. Eggs and protein are powerful. Eating a rainbow of fruits and vegetables. Cooking your favorite meal for the nostalgia of your favorite meal is important in the midst of eating all these other things that might not be familiar to you, right? Whole grains can help with producing milk, and oats help with producing milk. Probiotic rich foods. This is key. If you don't like I struggle with fermented foods and foods that are high in probiotics. But I started taking a postpartum probiotic. You can actually go to your local health food store and look at their selection of probiotics. You're going to want probiotics that have multiple strains in them, at least 50 billion units. And if you see some marketed towards postpartum or women, that can be very helpful for you to get the right types of probiotics for your gut so you can begin healing your gut with those probiotics to heal your mind, your brain. Okay, eating lots of healthy fats like avocado and fresh olive oil, eating wild caught seafood. Be careful of non-wild caught seafood. They're high in mercury and other metals that are not helpful for you in the postpartum season or healing your body, so just be mindful of that. And you can also explore supplements. And so I'm going to head on over to the supplement section here. Supplements were game changers for me. I'm a picky eater. I don't like many fermented foods. There's a small amount of types of food that I like, a small amount of meats that I feel comfortable eating. And so supplements are a space that I really turn to support my healing. And I did that with the help of my functional medicine doctor. Now, I want to say this is really important for you guys to hear. Any information that I provide you around supplements and nutrition, I am not a doctor, and I am not recommending you take these supplements. I am recommending you talk to your doctor about them and the benefits of them, and if they would be right for you, and if they would interact with any other medications you're on or medical conditions that you have, and if your lab results say that they're necessary or not. You can request labs to be drawn around these different minerals and vitamins that I'm going to share with you to see if you have any deficiencies. Okay, so it's important to schedule follow-up with your doctor, not just your 6-week checkup with your OBGYN, to assess your vitamin, mineral, and your hormone levels. And this can help inform you of the areas that you want to focus on for your nutrition. There are vitamin and micronutrient supplements that many people find helpful in regulating their bodies, their mind, and their mood. And all the supplements that I'm going to list here for you guys should be discussed with your doctor. So supplements in the graphic, this image here that I have of this woman, these are all supplements that are deemed safe for mood management while breastfeeding. Okay, so probiotics, we talked about those, super, super important. Probiotics and prebiotics. Vitamin B6 and B12. Magnesium. The majority of us are magnesium deficient, and this is an interesting one. You can get magnesium in capsule form, in drink form, but you can also get magnesium in a topical form. If you go to your local health food store, you can find magnesium lotions and sprays. My doctor informed me that it's easier for your body to absorb magnesium through your skin than it is through orally, like taking a tablet or a drink. I was so magnesium deficient that I was taking 3 supplements a day in tablet form, or capsule form. And then at night, I was drinking a magnesium drink. And then she put me on the magnesium spray, and my magnesium levels started leveling out. Vitamin D. Vitamin D, most mamas are deficient in vitamin D, especially when you're nursing, and this can contribute to feelings of depression. So make sure your vitamin D levels are good. Talk to your doctor about vitamin D supplements. Omega-3 fatty acids are really powerful for mood management. Zinc is important too. Some people can be sensitive to zinc, so be careful and maybe split up your tablet, break it in half or quarters to have throughout your day and eat it with a meal. And then folate in a prenatal or postnatal vitamin. So these are all things that won't impact your breast milk supply or transfer to your baby. I also have on the left side here supplements that you can talk about if you're not breastfeeding. So curcumin or turmeric is super, super powerful. I take 500 milligrams of curcumin a day, and it stabilizes my mood beautifully. Now, this can impact your breast milk production, and so it can reduce production of breast milk, so be aware of that. 5-HTP-CR. This is a supplement my functional medicine doctor put me on to support an increase in serotonin levels in my brain. Serotonin is responsible for your, it's a feel-good, happy hormone. And also the majority of serotonin is produced in your gut, you guys. So getting a healthy gut and eating a well-balanced meals throughout your day at times of the day that you're hungry that's important to get your serotonin levels balanced. But I also took this supplement to increase the levels of serotonin in my brain. And I did this because I did not want to take a pharmaceutical medication for my experiences in my postpartum season. I decided to try natural routes instead. And this really, really helped me increase my serotonin levels and feel good. And then there's something called GABA. You can get a supplement called GABA Calm, and GABA helps calm you. So if you're struggling with anxiety and you're trying to regulate and slow down and struggling, you can talk to your doctor about GABA as well. Now, 5-HTP-CR, there's not enough studies for the FDA to say it is safe to use while breastfeeding, and same with GABA. And this is because supplements are far less studied than pharmaceuticals. There's a lot of money in the pharmaceutical world, so there's a lot of studies to see if it transfers through breast milk or impacts your baby. A lot of different psychiatric medications have been proven to not have an impact on your baby when breastfeeding. And so just know there's options out there for you if you are wanting to look in that route. There are options as well. Coming back to this page over here, I think I actually passed it. We're going to do some meal planning together. Now, this is stuff I wish I had done before having my son. I just thought, we'll figure it out. I had some friends set up a meal train. If you haven't heard of a meal train, literally go to Google and type in meal train. There's a website called that. And people can sign up to deliver you meals on certain days, so you know who's there, and you can kind of put your dietary restrictions in there, or the types of food you like or don't like, to guide them in being able to send you a meal. So this also thinks through all the other options to feed your family during the season when you are not likely to be cooking or wanting to cook. So if you check out your worksheet here, how many pre-cooked and frozen meals are you going to prepare before you have your baby? How many do you think? How many servings do you want? How many times do you think you could eat that in a given week? Think that through, write it down, and you can write it down, and you can also write down your ideas. Things that are really easy to freeze are soups and stews, which are very good for you in this season. So you could spend a week every single day, you make a soup and stew, and you put it in containers and you freeze it and you put it in the freezer. I know when we had our son, we got a deep freezer to put in our garage to help store breast milk for pumping. And this could be really handy too if you want to stock up on stews and soups. Using a meal train, how many times a week are you having loved ones sign up to deliver meals to you? How many times a week do you plan on ordering pre-cooked meal services? There are services out there where you can get your week's worth of meals or 3 days worth of meals delivered to you fully cooked in individual packages stuck in the fridge. You could also get those meal prep plans where there is a minimal cooking that has to be done. Everything's measured out, groceries are bought, you just stick it together and then you have a meal if your partner wants to do that. Takeout and delivery. How many times per week are you going to be eating takeout or delivery? And then how many times a week do you think realistically you guys can prepare yourselves? Think this through. And then as you're thinking through each one, if conversation starters pop up for you, like, ooh, where would we want to order from? How much do we want to budget for delivery? What would this price look like for meal services to deliver? Think through budgeting that. Flip this page over and on the back, start taking notes of what would work for you guys. Okay, so I added on here supplements to talk to my doctor about. As we went through the supplement page, if there's any of these that pique your interest, write them down to talk to your doctor about. If there's any that you already know that you're deficient in or you've been on before, have been helpful for you before, and you want to buy them and stock up and make sure you have them for your postpartum season, put that on the list here as well. And I'm going to do a little plug around psychiatric medication here. Many times when we become pregnant, we get very nervous around what medications we're taking and is it safe to be on them while we're pregnant? Should I come off of them until I get to talk to my doctor? I want to tell you that research shows if you're already on psychiatric medications because of your own journey, mental health journey, research shows it's not safe to abruptly stop your medication without a doctor's permission. So if you find out you're pregnant or you just found out you're pregnant and you're on medications and you feel like you want to stop or something inside you is telling you to stop, you can call a pharmacy and they're always on call, right? Call the pharmacy and you can ask them. You can call the nurse hotline on your, if you have like a independent insurance or insurance through your work, you can call the 24/7 nurse hotline if you guys have that. You can do some Google research to see if it's safe to be on things, the medication you're on while you're pregnant. But something that Google can't tell you that a doctor can consider with you is the risk factors of coming off of your medication versus the risk factors of being on your medication. And there are a ton of studies out there about this. So partner with your doctor around this. If you feel like your doctor is not helpful in navigating what is right or what should be done, you can look up on Postpartum Support International, postpartum.net. They have a provider directory of people who are certified in perinatal mental health, and you can find a perinatal mental health psychiatrist to talk to on there to see if you should stay on your medication or if there's a better medication that you should be on in this season or what that needs to look like if you choose to breastfeed after your baby is born. Okay, that's the wrap for the nutrition section of this worksheet. I will see you guys in the next lesson.